Hey, this is Chuck Octor, and I'm sitting here with another interview of a lifetime Browerville resident and a lifetime friend, Dave Benning. Elementary school, high school, all those kind of things together. And I want to ask Dave a little bit about an important part of Browerville. And you grew up on a farm.
Correct.
And talk loud now so they can hear you. Tell us about how big your family was, where your farm was, what was part of farm life for you growing up.
Well, we were 7 miles northeast of Browerville. Come from a family of 12, non-Benning family. And we were busy, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So did you have cows?
Yeah, we had cattle and hogs.
So you had to milk twice a day.
Yes.
So before you went to school in the morning, you were out milking.
5 in the morning.
5 in the morning.
Till about 7, and we had 20 minutes to get on the bus. Eat and get on the bus.
And so, did you begin milking everything by hand? Do you remember that? And then you got milkers in?
My parents were by hand, but I got into the milking system. We had Surge and Browerville milkers.
Okay.
And that was my job every morning.
They counted on
Run
you.
those 2 to 3 milkers.
Okay. So, you mentioned the family. Where are you in the lineage of brothers and sisters?
I'm number 6.
Number 6.
I'm in the middle as much as you can.
The only test is, can you name all of your brothers and sisters for us? Okay. Let the people know.
Donald, Jim, Leo, Rita, Robert, myself, Richard, Frederick, Ed, Teresa, Roseanne, and Judy.
Great job.
That's good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, you went to St. Peter's grade school.
Yes.
You rode the bus in.
Yes. Larry Pancratz is the driver.
Okay.
Bill Segan.
Okay. So, what was life like for you during the summer with the crops? Were you involved in working with your dad in the crops, or did you make hay, or those types of things? Or?
Yes. Every day we were doing something. My dad did some odd farming work, like carpentry. So the older would go with him for the day, and the rest of us would plant and harvest.
A lot of responsibilities for young kids. Do you remember how old you were when you first drove a tractor?
Probably. I got hired for a thrashing crew from my neighbors. I think I was 7 or 8.
Wow.
But I was so young that it was a Ford tractor, and I had to stand up and grab the steering wheel and push on the brake so I could stop it. Otherwise, I wasn't strong enough to lift my leg.
So you mentioned 5 in the morning, but what time in the evening did you then do that?
Well, we got off the bus at about 4:20. Maybe grab a little snack of some kind, and then we'd go till 6, and then we'd eat until about 5:30. We'd eat dinner or supper, and then back out to do chores till 7:30. Then we come in and did our homework till 10, and then fell asleep.
Yeah. Wow. So tell us about your mom. Everything was homemade, probably?
Yes.
Homemade bread.
We made all 3 meals every day. I remember her standing in the kitchen more than any other place in the house. In the summer, we had gardens, then we'd be in the garden. But a lot of times she would do that herself and let us play ball for a while. When we had to harvest the garden and stuff, then we'd help. We'd cultivate it. She would be out there dilly-dallying around, let us play.
Speaking of your brothers and sisters, is there any sibling rivalry going on between you and brother and sister at all?
Never. Our yard was big enough so we could play ball in there.
Yeah.
And when you're younger, you might get a single or a double.
Yeah.
We'd let our sisters play first if they were younger. But we never had gloves or anything. We caught everything with our bare hands. And my younger sister now is upset because we let them play with us, but we wouldn't count their, if they scored a run, we wouldn't count it.
Because they were girls.
We probably had more on our team than the other team. I think is what, not because of girls, that couldn't have been it.
So, thinking back to our days at St. Peter's, do you remember going out for recess and playing softball?
I do.
Yeah. Father Kramer would come and pitch to us. That was really a fun
I
time.
remember hitting one down the hill and rolled across the highway to the gas station.
To my great uncle Matt's gas. That was a big hit at that point in time.
Well, you had to get it over their head, and then the
That's
hill
right.
took care of the
Took
rest.
care of it, and we had rocks that were our bases.
Yes.
Yeah, so you didn't slide in really hard at that point.
No, we didn't slide at all.
Well, let's go to high school, Dave. You were able to play basketball in high school.
Yes.
And so, did that put a crimp in you doing chores because you had to stay after school? Or?
That's where I was lucky. I was in the middle because my older brothers, actually, my brother Leo, I think, stayed home an extra year so that I could play.
Okay. Neat. Dave and I happened to be on the basketball team together, and when Dave was a senior, I was a junior. We had a pretty good team.
Yeah, we did.
It was a really good team, a fun time. And go ahead.
We got into the districts.
Got into the semifinals of the district and
up
lost to
playing
Melrose. Yeah. And unfortunately, they beat us. Yeah. Anyway, so Dave, you graduated from high school and you've been employed, self-employed as a construction company your whole career?
Yes.
Okay.
Started in 1969. And I don't know, we didn't really quit. Lyle had some medical problem, I think, so we had to stop. But it took about 3 years to stop. And that work.
Yeah.
Tried to organize, and then I worked with one of the guys by myself. And I said, I'll work with you until you find a job that fits you.
Okay.
I'm not going to quit until you're ready. And it worked out good. Dave Gould had his own company started, and he went and worked for him.
We'd be remiss if we didn't bring up your beautiful bride. You married a high school sweetheart. Not really in high school?
We were friends in high school, but we didn't start dating until I was in high school.
Oh, okay. And
We
tell us.
liked to dance. I guess we danced ourselves.
So neat. Well, we heard about that before from Roger, that they used to love watching you dance at wedding dances. Yeah.
We danced a lot.
Joanne, you didn't step on Joanne's toes at all?
No, not intentionally.
Neat. So tell us how many children you have.
We have 5, one daughter and 4 sons. We lost Steve. So we have 4 living.
Okay. Any great memory growing up in Browerville that you'd like to share that we haven't talked about?
Well, one time I had $5 in my pocket, and I wanted to go out, so I had to fill my car with gas. That worked. It was only 12.9 or 16.9 a gallon.
Yeah.
Then I went to Horseshoe. This was after I must have been in Texas, and I had a couple beers there. And then I went back to the drive-in town and had dinner.
All on $5.
Midnight, and had a hamburger and fries, and I still had some money left.
Oh, wow. Great
A
story.
little different than today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was, I mean, everybody was busy, and your whole life was working to put food on the table. It wasn't cash crops, to say. A little bit of milk money. All I did was put food on the table.
Yeah.
So it was a good life.
It is a good life.
It was hard.
Yep.
But it was like you said, you had that triangle.
Yep.
The church, the school,
Yeah.
family was really important.
Yep.
We had a lot of fun as family. We had our own teams and we could play ball. We got together with our cousins. It was always a ball game. Be out in the pasture or in the meadow,
Yeah.
wherever you have some kind of fence. You get home runs.
Neat. Well, thank you, Dave, for allowing us to interview you. Appreciate it. Thanks for all you've done, and thanks for your lifelong friendship. God bless you. Take care.